In most gardens, traditional composting takes months to deliver that dark, rich humus everyone wants. You pile up your scraps, turn them, water them, and wait, sometimes all season. But across the Pacific, Japanese farmers perfected a method that turns raw kitchen waste into microbe-rich soil feed in as little as 2 weeks. It doesn't attract flies, doesn't stink, and produces one of the most potent soil conditioners you can make at home. This is Bokashi, a fermentation-based composting system that rewrites everything gardeners think they know about decay. What makes it so powerful is that it doesn't rot organic matter, it ferments it. That simple shift creates an oxygen-free environment where beneficial microbes break waste down faster, preserving nutrients instead of burning them off as heat or gas. Once you understand how it works, you'll see why so many gardeners are replacing their compost bins with Bokashi buckets. The Bokashi method uses fermentation, not decomposition. The word Bokashi translates roughly to fermented organic matter. The process was developed in Japan and popularized in the 1980s by Dr. Teruo Higa, who discovered how certain blends of microorganisms, specifically lactic acid bacteria, yeasts, and phototrophic bacteria, could transform food waste into nutrient-dense pre-compost within just a few days. Instead of letting waste rot in the open air, Bokashi seals it off from oxygen and introduces a microbial starter called Bokashi bran. This bran is the heart of the system. It's typically made from wheat bran or rice bran inoculated with effective microorganisms, or EM, and a bit of molasses. When layered with kitchen scraps in an airtight bucket, the bran triggers fermentation. Over 10 to 14 days, the microbes digest sugars, fats, and proteins, creating a pickled mixture rich in enzymes, amino acids, and organic acids. Unlike traditional composting, which produces carbon dioxide and heat as byproducts, Bokashi fermentation keeps nutrients intact and usable for plants. Nothing is lost to the air, everything stays in the bucket. Setting up your Bokashi system at home is simple but precise. To make Bokashi work efficiently, you need a sealed bucket with a spigot at the bottom to drain excess liquid. 2 buckets nested together also work if you drill drainage holes in the top one. The process starts by sprinkling a handful of Bokashi bran, about 2 tablespoons per pound of food waste, at the bottom of the container. Then add your scraps in layers, pressing them down to remove air pockets, and sprinkle another handful of bran on top. So, you just want to repeat this process until the bucket is full, and always make sure you're sealing it tightly after each addition. You can actually add almost any kitchen waste, like vegetable peels, cooked food, coffee grounds, citrus, meat, and even dairy. That's really one of Bokashi's greatest advantages. It handles what traditional composting can't. Because fermentation prevents rot, proteins and fats just don't attract flies or maggots. The real key here is moisture control. If your scraps are too wet, just add a bit of extra bran to soak up the excess liquid, and if things are too dry, a splash of diluted molasses water will keep those microbes active. After you've filled the bucket, go ahead and seal it, then let it ferment for about 10 to 14 days. Be sure to drain the liquid every 2 or 3 days using the spigot. This Bokashi tea is actually an incredible fertilizer when you dilute it at a ratio of 1 tablespoon per liter of water. You can use it right away on houseplants, garden beds, or even compost piles. The drained liquid keeps oxygen out of the mix and, prevents foul odors from developing. What happens after fermentation is, honestly, the real secret to its power. Once the 2-week fermentation period ends, you don't have finished compost yet. The waste will look mostly unchanged, but its chemistry has completely shifted. It's now pre-digested, acidic, and full of beneficial microbes just ready to explode into action once they hit soil. The next step is simple. Bury it. Dig a trench about 8 to 10 inches deep in your garden and mix the fermented material with soil at roughly a 1-to-1 ratio. Then, go ahead and cover it back up with at least 3 inches of soil and let it rest for another 2 weeks. During this time, soil microbes neutralize the acidity and complete the breakdown process. The result is a nutrient-charged zone teeming with microbial life, earthworms and humus formation. If you're working with raised beds or container gardens, the same principle applies. You can mix the fermented waste directly into your potting soil or compost pile. Just avoid planting immediately where bokashi has been buried. Wait the full 2 weeks to let decomposition stabilize. After that, you can safely grow in it, and you'll notice stronger plant growth, faster seedling establishment, and deeper root color within a single cycle. Traditional composting relies on aerobic bacteria, which thrive in oxygen and high heat. While effective, it burns off nitrogen and carbon through respiration, leading to nutrient losses of up to 50%. Bokashi operates in the absence of oxygen, meaning it conserves nearly all the original nutrients, especially nitrogen, calcium, and amino acids essential for plant cell growth. It also introduces diverse beneficial microbes that rejuvenate tired soil, stimulate root symbiosis, and suppress pathogens. In trials comparing compost and bokashi-enriched soil, gardens using bokashi showed, faster seed germination and stronger root biomass. That's because bokashi doesn't just feed plants, it actually feeds the soil biome. When buried, the fermented matter becomes food for fungi, protozoa, and earthworms, restoring microbial balance. From a practical standpoint, bokashi also wins on space and speed. A single 5-gallon bucket can process kitchen scraps for a family of 4 every 2 weeks, producing nutrient material with almost no smell and, honestly, no pests. Traditional compost heaps require turning, moisture management, and months of waiting. Bokashi delivers a finished soil amendment in less than 30 days from start to finish. So, let's talk about how to make your own bokashi bran. Commercial bokashi bran is widely available, but making your own saves money and, honestly, gives you full control. Just mix 10 cups of wheat bran with 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of molasses, and 2 tablespoons of EM1, which is an effective microorganism starter. Blend it all together until it's evenly moist, then pack it tightly into a bucket with a lid and let it ferment for about 2 weeks. Once it's done, just spread the mixture out to dry, in the shade, and store it in airtight bags. Each cup of this bran can process several pounds of kitchen waste, and, if you store it properly, it'll stay active for up to a year. Bokashi isn't just a composting shortcut, it's really a bridge between traditional soil wisdom and microbial science. Japanese farmers used it to maintain soil fertility without synthetic fertilizers long before the organic movement even began. Today it's a critical tool for gardeners seeking sustainability in limited spaces, especially urban growers who can't maintain large compost bins. The method transforms waste into soil wealth efficiently, cleanly, and quietly. In a world where gardeners want faster returns and healthier ecosystems, bokashi stands out as one of the simplest and most powerful techniques to adopt. If this guide helped you understand how bokashi can transform your garden in just 2 weeks, subscribe to Hydrohaven for more deep dive guides on regenerative soil methods. Share this with fellow gardeners who believe in feeding the soil, not just the plants, because once you master bokashi, every scrap in your kitchen becomes a seed for richer, living earth.